Welcome to the TIMFD podcast. Today is my favorite day is about appreciating every day as it comes, no matter what life throws at us. We hope that this podcast speaks to you, and if it does, please like, share, and comment. Now let's find out why today is our favorite day this week.
David, I got a question for you today.
Oh, yeah?
Very serious, very, really heavy question.
All right, heavy question. Go ahead.
What's it like to ride a camel?
You're asking that because I just did.
You just did, yes.
I rode a camel with Tanya. We went to Morocco. Now, before I get there and talk about that, I'd like to read a verse.
Okay.
You and I were talking about, how does this all tie together? And Jesus was about to feed 5,000 men, which was about 20,000 people altogether.
Mm-hmm.
And it says the apostles gathered around Jesus and reported to him all they had done and taught. Then because so many people were coming and going that they did not even have a chance to eat, he said to them, "Come with me by yourselves to a quiet place and get some rest." So they went away by themselves in a boat to a solitary place. So Tanya and I went on a vacation.
Yes.
And now we don't do a lot of those. I've done more in the last probably year and a half. And I think a lot of it has to do with the death of Rebecca and trying to work through that than I did for many years, which is not, I'm not saying it's a good thing that I didn't take vacations, but we just didn't do a lot of them. And we went because there was a family in the church that gave us a place to stay in Spain. It's pretty amazing. And so we were able to go there.
That's where the rain in Spain is always on the plane,
That's right?
Okay. It
was beautiful, but this was the southern part of Spain.
Okay.
So the Playa del Sol, they call it. I found out that playa, it means the beach, and we were near Playa de Bilbil. So the beach of Bilbil.
Okay.
And there's a little castle there and the whole bit. So, but what we did is we just went to Spain to rest.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we did. The flight wasn't very restful.
Oh, no.
It was a rough flight, to say the least. We were we just didn't get the right seats for that flight. We thought because we were sleeping, we wouldn't need much leg space or anything like that. We have found out you do.
Yes.
So we're going to do that. But when it comes to the camel, the way we did this, and Sam wanted to talk about the vacation a little bit just so you guys could kind of hear what happened. So we flew out there and got into town, got our by the way, our rental.
Yeah.
It cost us like $300 and something bucks for the 12 days we were there. When we did that in Hawaii, it cost us $2,300.
Yeah.
Totally different. So that was kind of interesting. But we drove down. They all drive on the same road sides of us, so it's kind of cool. Some people have been asking, and I wondered if it was on the other side, like England.
England, yeah.
So we went down, got to our place. It's Benedina, I guess that's what it's called. It was beautiful. All these white buildings everywhere on this really steep mountain going down to the water.
Okay.
So the first day, we get all settled, we're done. The next day we get up and we go to Malaga, it's spelled. It's a big, big city, because I was looking for a Starbucks for Tanya.
Oh, no.
And Tanya really wanted a Starbucks. So I went, hey, there's a Starbucks here. And we drove to it. It was about 14 minutes from us. And we drove there, and it was in a big mall. Of course.
Of course.
But it was a very unique place. I took a lot of cool pictures of Tanya there. She was dressed really well, so it worked out perfect. And we did that. Part of this trip was, though, to hang out there and just relax. But part of the trip was also to go and see some things. So we went down, the way the trip went, we then went down to a place called Tarifa.
Okay.
Tarifa is at the very tip of Spain. If you can kind of think how Spain is kind of built, there's a little tip right here. Everybody thinks that's the Rock of Gibraltar. It's not.
Right.
That is Tarifa. It's a surf town.
Okay.
It was amazing.
Your element.
Oh, yeah. It was amazing. It was Tanya's element. We parked our car. We got into this. We had to spend 2 days of money to stay in this hotel, but it was ridiculous. It was beautiful. It didn't cost much, and we stayed there so we can go down to Morocco.
Okay.
On a ferry, and we met a guy named Abu there, who showed us around Tangiers. And part of the Tangiers experience was to go on this beach that you had to go down this, cliff to get to. and ride camels at the ocean. And they went into the ocean, and Tanya was very comfortable with the camels.
Well, she was around horses.
She was
and
around
ride
horses,
that,
man. And so she's going and flipping around on it and going backwards on it and doing all this kind of stuff. She goes, David, do something. I go, I'm holding on for dear life, man. I don't know if I'm going to die on this camel. But we did. It was a lot of fun. We ended up going up the mountain with the camels, which was wild. I didn't expect that. And Tanya got to see some of the baby camels, and she loved that. I took some pictures of that.
Yeah, she's a huge animal person.
Oh, yeah, she is. Yeah. And then we went to the Casbah. Everybody talks about you got to go to the Casbah, which is just a maze of these houses right next to each other, straight up. And but it was beautiful, old, but beautiful. And everyone kind of lived together. So there was a Jewish person right next to an Islamic person living right next to each other.
And no worries.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, it was really kind of neat. So we went through that, saw a snake charmer that was
really? Yeah.
with a cobra.
Yeah.
And he did the whole thing with the cobra and then put a different snake around our necks. We wasn't going to put a cobra around our necks, but we did that. Took a lot of great pictures. Tanya got to shop a little bit in their markets. And then we went back across to Tarifa and just kind of hung out there for a day. Went back up to where we stay. We saw a butterfly place.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Butterflies. It like has butterflies from around the world in this place that's like a Tibetan monk place.
Okay.
And so pay to go in it, and we just and walked around. There's butterflies all around us. So I was filming Tanya.
Yeah, I know. Key West has a butterfly place too.
It does.
So those
have you been there?
I have. Rita and I went. I've got pictures somewhere. We was during pandemic, and Rita's got a butterfly just sitting right on her nose.
Tanya was really wanting to have one of them sit on. Yeah. But they would just fly all around her. Yeah. And so I took video of that.
Yeah. And, they're cool, and the ladies like it.
Yeah. It was neat, and we took some really cool pictures of Ben Medina from there because it's on the top of the hill, so we were able to see that, and that was cool. Then what we did is when we left Tarifa, because we left Tarifa and an hour away is Gibraltar. Now, I wasn't going to do any of this.
Right.
Because about a week and a half prior to us leaving, two things happened. One, I worked outside in this heat, which I shouldn't have. It's not a problem doing it if I'm hydrating. I wasn't hydrating well enough, and I ended up having to go to a clinic, and they tried to keep me from throwing up because that's what was happening. Right. And I just lost a lot of fluid. It was really bad. I couldn't get my body back into a good function. I was cramping all over the place. So someone at our church, Dr. Duellen Pandis, came to me and said, hey, come to my business. She does IVs, and I did the first one, and I suddenly had energy. It was shocking. And it had vitamins, all the stuff in it. And then she said, you need to do another one before you go, because I was still not really there. Right. Did the second one, full of energy, ready to go. I was right back to where I was. Cool. And if I didn't do that, we probably would not have done the camels, or Tanya would have just watched her. Wouldn't have done Gibraltar, definitely, and maybe not traveled as much just because I was just trashed. Yeah. So thank you, Duellen, and your company. I'm going to be putting some stuff out on social media on that, and probably connect it here, if you don't mind, on the site.
Yeah, we'll put the link in the.
You need people, right?
Yeah, you need people. Yeah,
we talked about that 2 weeks ago. Yeah. About we grow in our faith through people.
Right, exactly. Right? Exactly.
And Duellen really, and Randy, her husband, really helped me and their team to get me to a place where I could go do what I wanted to do. So we went to Gibraltar. To go preface back over this, the day before we leave, Tanya puts her foot right into the side of our bathtub, and it's the pinky one, and it just swelled up. Oh. She could not wear shoes. We brought shoes, but she wore sandals. So we go to Gibraltar, and it wouldn't be bad. If you're hiking up Gibraltar, you can't be in sandals.
Right.
But we were taking the tram. We took the tram up there. It was really cool. They have the skywalk that you walk across it, and it's just glass.
You're walking on glass?
Yeah, just basically glass. You're seeing however high Gibraltar is, you're looking straight down because it's a cliff. Yep. and freaked me out. And I was wondering why I was freaking out. It wasn't bothering Tanya at all. And some of the ladies that were taking pictures on it, they were having no problems. And I took off my sunglasses because they have like a reading part down here. And the minute I took them off, I went, oh, okay, that was the problem. But I was freaking out. I was a baby. And but took those off, was able to see everything. And then we went to this sky bridge, this bridge that is a suspension bridge on Gibraltar, on the mountain of Gibraltar, that goes 1,000 feet down or whatever. Really cool bridge. And if I was wearing those glasses, sunglasses, I wouldn't have been able to make it. Without them, I was able to go on it. And we went into some caves that were up there, really cool caves. And but then we wanted to go see the ape. The ape den. I told you
more
about
animals.
This. Yes, ape den. And there's apes everywhere. These apes that are on the Gibraltar mountain that are just there. They're there. And they're all over the place. And so we wanted to go there. We go down. We miss a turn, and we're down the mountain about maybe 3/4 of the way. When you go to these places, a lot of them will give you like a van, and you go back up to hit the tram to come down. We missed that. We were down pretty far, and we went, we better just hike down because it could be a bear to go back up. That road was like this. And so we were walking down. I don't know how Tanya did it. She was in flip-flops with a swollen toe, and she muscled it down, and we got all the way down and then got into the city, which Gibraltar, if you don't know, is like Britain.
Right.
It's like England. And so it was kind of cool to see that. And then we went from there. We had to walk. We missed a bus that we were supposed to hit. So we had to still walk, and you have to walk out of Gibraltar to get to our car. And you walk out of Gibraltar by going across the runways
at the airport. Oh my goodness!
Yeah, it's pretty wild. So we walked out. By then, Tanya had to be trashed, and her foot was not feeling great, to say the least. But we got to do that. We went to another place called Marbella.
Okay.
Marbella, and Marbella. There's actually a family in here, the Millers, who stayed there for a while.
Oh, wow.
They were telling me about that. They own Bold House.
Oh, yeah.
The house. We'll put their link on it too. Yeah. But they own Bold House, and they were telling me about their, about that place. It was a pretty cool place. So I wanted to go there because their plaza had a Salvador Dali statues that he gave them.
Okay.
Now we have the Dali Museum right here. Right. So I wanted to at least go see those things. They were pretty cool. Took pictures of them and took a lot of pictures of Tanya. And we just kind of relaxed and enjoyed the plaza there and then got out of there.
Yep.
And there's my phone. You should never have a phone when you're doing this. But at least on. So there you had it on. Oops. But we had a great time. It was just a lot of fun, and we went finally from there and flew to Zurich.
Oh, okay.
And we were able to stay there for a day. But we lost our luggage.
Oh, no.
Yeah, all the luggage got lost. So we had to only have stuff on our back. But we just said, whatever. We're going to go to the hotel, drop off our stuff, go in downtown Zurich, and just kind of enjoy it. So we got to see Fraumonster, and I think it's called Grossmonster, which are both Mooster, I think they're called, that are both big churches on both sides of this river.
Oh, well.
Where a bridge goes. I mean, they're connected that way. It is the coolest thing to see. Took a bunch of pictures there. And so we got to see it a little bit. I wish I could have stayed in Zurich for like 4 days.
Yeah.
We did go to the place where they do the knives, the Swiss Army knives.
Oh, really?
Went to there. And we got some knives for the boys and that kind of thing. They don't know that yet, but we. Yeah.
So you got to give them to them before this airs, right?
Yes, and we'll get them before it airs. But it was fun just to go there and do that. And we got one for Shayna. Shayna's an outdoor person, and Kelly, so they like that stuff. So we gave our family weapons.
Yeah, there you go. Hey,
it is what it is. But I think they'll enjoy them, and we customized them and had all that. Right, they do everything. So it was just a neat trip.
Yeah,
and I know your vacations have always been kind of cool too. You guys, though, do traveling to a totally different place in the world.
We do. We like to go different places every time we go. We travel around Florida. We're transplants, moved here in 2017. And so we do that, and we like to cruise and go to various places. International travel, though, is always interesting.
Well, you guys, you got international travel because of family.
Yeah, we do. We have family in Poland and used to be in Ukraine. Well, we still have some family in Ukraine. Can't get out yet, But yeah, and it's interesting. But you started this off talking about the rest, part of it. And people say they come home, they need a vacation from their vacation. But when you go and you do all those things, when the first time I went to Ukraine, it's the first time I was out of the country.
Right.
Okay. Now, my wife can walk. And walk. She
can walk hard.
She can walk forever, right? And so we were all over Kiev, and man, just some of the history and everything that was there, and you just refreshed.
Yep.
We went to the Crimea. Rita's father.
Did you guys really do that?
Yeah, we were in the Crimea.
No way.
And Rita had
that's pretty cool
because Leanna has property there, and Rita's father has property there, and we're up in the mountains on the Crimea, over the Crimea, and there's the rest.
Yeah.
We walked out of the front door and the gardens, and they're all his. And it wasn't like anybody came and made gardens. You could walk around and you could see the mountains, you could see the hills, and so by the time we got back, we're well rested, well relaxed, and we did a lot. Tired, yeah.
I had jet lag today for the first time. I did not feel it at all. First couple of days we were here, and I was telling everybody, I'm not having any problems at all. After I preached yesterday,
it hit, huh?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, it hit me. When I say yesterday, when this comes out, it's gonna be a week later. So a week, from when this comes out. But I was feeling great. Taught what we call Harbor U here, which is people wanting to look at becoming members of the church. And when I was done, I started driving home, and I was picking up real estate signs. I put real estate signs out on the road on Sundays. It's just my little thing to do to point people to the church. And I just started feeling it.
Yeah.
And oh my gosh, I need to sleep. I need to sleep. Oh, I said, and then I went, this jet lag finally hit me.
Yeah.
But I love the trip. If I could go another 2 weeks, I would do it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's always been my case. You go there, you plan your time and everything else, and you come back and I really could have done another week.
Love to do more. Yeah. But that's me. Just to go see stuff, to experience places. And so, getting a rest wherever it is. Now, Tanya and I both went, you know what? There's a lot of stuff in Florida that we haven't seen. We need to make a conscious effort to go see these things. Yeah. And I did not know that there's the butterfly.
Oh, the butterfly thing down there. And then you have Hemingway's stuff down there.
Are they close to each other?
The whole thing's within walking distance, and you can walk the whole downtown square and stuff like that. We did, of course. My wife likes to walk.
Do that. Yeah, that's one of the things we want to do. We live in Florida, and we haven't been down to Key West.
To the Keys, I
think it's Key West, right?
It's Key West, and so you have the southernmost part of the United States. I have a sign that says southernmost part of the United States, and it's interesting the whole experience. They've got. Well, if you go down there, so we're in the church is in the Chamber of Commerce. We have a guy by the name of Doug Beavis. They got a little dive bar, and you will see Doug Beavis's license plate up on the wall.
No way.
Yeah, it says Beavis in Florida, right? And so, but there's all sorts of history there also, and it's just a neat little. We found the butterfly place, and it's on the main drag, and we were in there a couple hours, and I thought it would just be. In and out.
We were probably there maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes at the most for us.
My wife loved it. She just loved it. Yeah.
Well, so what the goal here of this today is about rest.
Yep.
About finding rest when you're feeling like you're you don't have to go to Spain or the Crimea to do this. You can go to a quiet place. I do this a lot. We live on a lake, so I go out in the lake. You may live in a place where you could walk. And just kind of disappear, whatever that is, right? We got to find those quiet places.
You have to have that recharge and rest. Yeah.
I always call it the happy place. You find that happy place to just rest and relax. And that's part of the Today is My Favorite Day book. Right. I talk about that at the beginning because I know it's vitally important for me.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But every once in a while, you need to go on kind of a trip like this for the adventure. I believe that married people, they grow through these kind of adventures.
Yes.
And so we need to do that. If you're married, that's something you need to think through. It doesn't have to be a long trip. It could be a short thing, but something that's different that you do, right?
See, for me, the enjoyment is finding everything, booking it, and doing all the research and stuff. I love doing that. And for Rita, it's the getting on the plane and going. So, she'd go every weekend if we could afford it.
Wow.
So, she loves to travel. And here's the thing. we've had just the weirdest experiences when we're traveling. Flat tire on an airplane by Lufthansa, you know. So we were stuck in Ukraine at one time. We were stuck in Mexico one time.
Oh my gosh.
I always tell anybody, if we're going international, you don't want to fly with us.
You could have problems. Luckily, we didn't have that, other than our luggage was missing. And it came back a couple of days later when we got back here. I had to stay up till 1 o'clock to wait for that luggage.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Yeah, but it came. It came. Yep. And so I'm thankful. So the idea is get rest.
Yes.
Get rest. I want to tell you a little bit about the story that we were doing and that Tanya and I did. Wanted you to hear a little bit about his. And for us, we just want to remind you, there's a time where you just, if you're feeling overwhelmed, slow it down, get some rest, find that happy place, and relax.
Yep.
Relax with the Lord.
Yep.
Right?
Sounds good. David,
awesome.
Well, thank you very much for sharing the camel story. Everybody
scared to death, but Tanya's having fun.
Tanya's having a blast.
Riding backwards.
So this has been David Towner, Sam McKeown. Today is my favorite day. Live intentionally. Be very blessed, my friends.
Go ride a camel, man.
Thank you for listening to TIMFD. Today is my favorite day. Views, comments, and opinions are those of the host and guest alone, and Dave and Sam are solely responsible for the content of this podcast. TIMFD is produced and directed by Alex Korn. Music is composed and performed by Chuck Fott. Thank you for listening. Have a great day, live intentionally, and be very blessed.